Joseph had to come back to their town because there was a decree where everybody had to be counted. So they had to come back to their town. But Mary, being with child, y'all women know what I'm talking about, she couldn't move like the other women. She had to go to the bathroom, the baby pushing on her bladder. Joseph, wait a minute, I need to rest. I need to take a break. I can't move as fast. So by the time they got back to their town to be counted, they needed to know how many women and how many men there were. So it was a census is what they called it.
That's right. That's right.
She couldn't move as fast as everybody else. So when they got back, there were no more rooms at the end, if you know the Christmas story. So after they got there, Jesus was born in a manger. We all know the Christmas story. The wise men came. They brought gifts to the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. I'm saying all of this because I want you to understand, in his birth, when he was born, immediately they worshiped him. They loved him. They praised him. And they also hated him. They also hated him. Let's fast forward a little bit. Let's get to the point when Jesus does his first miracle. He turned the water into wine. Now, I don't know about his childhood because the Bible doesn't give us a lot of historicity on his childhood. But I know that first miracle, he told his mother, my time is not yet. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. But understand this. As he was coming up in his childhood, he was no normal man. He was no normal teenager. He was no normal, just little infant. He was 100% man and 100% God. Are you still with me? Jesus at the wedding feast, they ran out of wine. They said, bring me. He said, bring me all of the water in the pitchers. Fill them up till they overflow. He turned the water into wine. They weren't ready for what was about to happen in the area. Now people were talking. They were happy about the wine. Best wine they ever tasted. But you also had some haters around. Have you ever done something good for somebody? And as soon as you've done something good, here comes the devil. You shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done that because they aren't worthy of what you've given them. But who's to say we're worthy of the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus Christ? Are you with me this morning? And we're going to fast forward a little bit more. Because now we want to get to the point where at the Last Supper, where Jesus and the boys are sitting around the table. I have to put a little weight on it because I can't go straight into the death. I have to bring you up to speed. Because there's somebody in your life right now. Right now. That is close to you as the belt around your waist. And in those days, to give you a little historicity, they had oils that were flavored. But they had the bread that they would dip in the oil for flavoring because the bread didn't have any flavor, didn't have any yeast. And he said, he who dips in the cup with me shall betray you. He shall betray me this day. The one that you think loves you the most, that is the closest to you, will turn coat on you quick and betray you. Watch who you're sleeping with. I heard a preacher preach. I think it was Bishop Lynn. I think y'all know that guy, Bishop Lynn. I think he preached a message, sleeping with the enemy. Because when you have 12 men that you just walk through town and said, follow me, and they drop everything they have, it must be something in their life that you can see, that's evident that you're not playing church, that you're having church. Don't get mad with me. I'm going to give this to you and I'm going to let you go. The reason a lot of people won't come to church with you is because they're seeing how you live. You keep asking us to bring somebody with us. I'm talking about me. I ain't talking about, I'm talking about myself. The reason they won't come to church with me is because they see how I live. Where I came from, they can't remember the old tabernacle when we were doing the doggone thing and doing it like it was supposed to be done. All they can remember is he slipped. So they won't come to church with me. So all I have to do now, we have to walk the walk and stop talking the talk. Are you with me? Now we're going a little faster now. We're getting up here to the point where Jesus of Nazareth is betrayed by Judas with a kiss. When they came to get Jesus on the mountain, they came and said, he said, who are you looking for? We're looking to see Jesus of Nazareth. He said, I'm here. I'm him. And as he spoke, they fell backward. The power of Jesus Christ. I'm trying to put some weight on it because I want you to understand who he really was. He was just not an ordinary man. He was 100% God and 100% man. But he had an earth suit on. He was without sin in his life. Do you understand? We can live holy in 2013. It's possible. So as Jesus gets betrayed by Jesus, Judas betrays Jesus. They take him to be judged. He didn't do anything wrong. Now, I want you to understand what's getting ready to happen right here. Jesus didn't do anything wrong, but asked his Father for an earth suit to redeem you and to redeem me, because we were so messed up, there was nobody else that could get us back to the Father. Do you understand? They came and got Jesus. They took him before the council. They were talking about all of the miracles that he did. All of the teaching that he was teaching. Because even though they were Bible scholars, he took their own words and gave it back to them with the anointing and truth and confused them. Their own teachings. They had a bachelor's doctrine degree, all of that. That's beautiful in its place. But when the anointing comes, you can take that education and ball it up and throw it out the window. Because it doesn't matter who you are. When you're anointed of God, you are anointed of God. They took him from judgment hall to judgment hall. I'm trying to get there. They hated him so much when he was coming up. As the teaching that he was teaching. The scribes and the Pharisees said, who is this man that he's teaching against what we're saying? The man said, he's not teaching against you. He's just teaching you the real way. You want to wash the outside of the cup, but the inside is still dirty. You want to go home and put a new garment on, but you ain't even wash your body and change your drawers. Hello? This is the essence of what he was telling them. Be real with yourself, and everybody else can be real with you. Jesus is about to be crucified. Why would they crucify Jesus? Hypothetical question. Because in those days, there were all kinds of ways to kill people. That's right. You had boiling in a pot of oil, tar and feathers, stone them. You could behead them. Decapitation. It was so many different ways. Why did they want to crucify Jesus? Because the scribes and the Pharisees thought it so that we must humiliate him in the worst form of punishment to make everybody else understand that he's not who he say he is. I want you to know this morning, it doesn't matter what they call you. It matters what you answer to. I think that was a quote from Angelina. It doesn't matter what they call you. It matters what you answer to. So they can say anything they want about Jesus. Buddha and all the rest of them, Hare Krishna, all of them. They can say anything they want. But anywhere you go, this is the little sidebar. Anywhere you go, if you're not afraid, just start saying Jesus. Loud, under your breath, don't matter. Jesus. 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 I guarantee you the atmosphere is going to change. Because when they came to get him, they took him to Judgment Hall. I know I'm bouncing around, but I'm going somewhere. Judgment Hall to Judgment Hall. They were preparing him for the resurrection. They came and got him. They hated him so bad. They beat him. I don't mean they punched him. I said they beat him. They beat him. Mel Gibson did a wonderful job of portraying the beating of Christ. Have anybody seen? Did you see it? They beat our Lord and our Savior. They punched him in his face. They kicked him in his rear. They drug him around. And then they had what they call cat's tails. It's leather straps. Okay? At the end of the leather strap, now we can attest to this because of slavery when they used to beat the slaves. We know what the leather strap is, but at the end of the leather strap, as if the leather's not going to cut your flesh, they would take rocks, sharpened rocks, and tie them to the end of it. They would take nails, pieces of metal, and tie it to the end of it. So that when they would swing it, it not only leather cutting through his flesh, when they hold it back, it cut deep down into his skin. Are you here? Are you there? Are you with me? Are you with me? Come down. I don't think you're with me. Your Jesus, my Lord, my Savior, yours. They took him from Judgment Hall to Judgment Hall, back and forth. They were beating him as they went. Beating him. This is not Jesus. He's not King of the Jews. He's a liar. He's against our doctrine. They waited all those years of him growing up, coming through all of those teachings, all of those miracles. They couldn't wait till this day to get him to this point. So that all of those soldiers, oh, I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. Y'all never had nobody tell you that in school. I'm going to get you after school. You might have been the one that told somebody that. I'm going to get you after school. They couldn't wait. They couldn't wait until this day where they could get back at Jesus. Somebody's waiting on you right now. They're waiting and plotting right now. Just as soon as the door opens, you know what they're going to do? They're going to try to crucify you. Not literally with the string. They're not going to try to whip you. But they'll take their tongue and try to beat you down and discredit you and tell people you're not who God says you are. But I'm here to tell you this morning, you're more than what anybody can say you are because of the beating that Christ took on that cross. They beat him from Judgment Hall to Judgment Hall. They opened up his back. He was a bloody mess. All those pretty pictures that you see of Jesus, not so. Not so. With a crown of thorns on his head and that little drip of blood coming. Not so. Not so. You let 15 or 20 men beat you for 2 or 3 hours and you tell me how you look. They beat him so bad the man said, stop. We can't kill him. We have to crucify him. But that was a part of it. They beat you until you were almost unconscious. And then they asked you to carry a cross. He carried it for me and you, Judy. He carried that for me and you. He took that beating for me and you. He came from heaven for me and you. He took that beating. Can you see it? They beat him till he was almost dead, the man had to tell him, stop before you kill him. We have to put him on the cross to humiliate him. We have to. They stopped beating him, put the cross on him. Now he's bloody. He's a bloody mess. Eyes swollen, lips busted, nose bleeding. They kicked him and broke his ribs. They didn't break his ribs, but they kicked him in his stomach and there was blood on the inside, gurgling. He could barely get up. None of his bones were broken though. But he was a bloody mess. He was a bloody mess. Can you see his eyes swollen? Almost shut. Can you see his nose bleeding? Can you see it? Can you see his back just opened up? Blood just running everywhere. And it was hot. In those days it was so hot, he started to sweat. If you ever had sweat in your eye, you know what I'm talking about. And then he has open wounds, and the sweat is running in the open wounds. Can you feel it? Can you see it? Can you see your Jesus? Going through all of this for me and for you? He said, don't worry about it. Give me the cross. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it for Bernie. I'll take it for Judy. I'll take it for Deacon Williams. I'll take it for Bishop Lee. I will do it. I want to take it for Brooks. I'm going to take it. I don't care how bad it hurts. I'm going to take it for my brother. I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it for Alante. I'm going to take this cross because I love you just that much. No matter how bad they beat him. No matter how bad they beat him. He said, I'm going to do this because I love you that much. He took the cross. They got him up there to the hill called Golgotha. They laid him out. Bloody mess. Eyes swollen, lip busted, nose bleeding, back opened up, sweat running into his cuts. They laid him out. And they took 8-inch nails, y'all. 8 inches. They stretched him out. Oh, before they got there, let me back up. They put a crown of thorns on his head. I left that out. How could I leave that out? A crown of thorns was on his head. When they pressed it down, 1.5 inch, 2-inch thorns. Not no rose bush. These were the real ones. And when they braided it, they pushed it down. Not as if it had to beat him bad enough. Now, King of the Jews, now you have your crown. They laid him out. 8-inch spikes. They sharpened the end of it. The sword could penetrate on the first couple of strikes with the mallet. They took it and they nailed him. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Can you see it? Can you see it? Ah! Ah! After they got that side down. They sharpened the end of it, but they left the base of it big. So when they nailed him to the cross, that when he moved, it would not rip open his hand so that he would fall from the cross. That was stability. The base of it was so big that he could not move, but the point of it was so sharp it could go straight in to his flesh. Can you see it? Can you see it? Then they took his feet and they put them together. One on top of the other. And they nailed them together. Can you see it? Can you see him? He said, I'm thinking about you. You. He said, I'm thinking about you. What's your name? Rhea. He was thinking about you. He took those nails in his feet for Rhea. What's your name, baby? Angie. He took the nail in his left hand for you. Corey, he took the nail in his right hand for you. What's your name, baby?
Tyler.
Tyler, he took the crown of thorns on his head for you. Are you there with me this morning? Are you there?
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord.
Then they had him, hung him up. The way they they did it, after they nailed him to the cross, they had a hole dug and they took straps and they pulled it up. Mind you, he's nails in his hand and in his feet. When that post hit the bottom of that hole, boom! Ah! The nails in his hand and in his feet. Lord have mercy. They pulled such anguish and pain for you and for me. He was up there from the 6th to the 9th hour. He was there. He was there. He was there for me. He was there for you. Jesus. Jesus. Lord have mercy. They didn't know what to do because he should have been dead by now. They said this was one of the worst beatings they had ever given anyone, and he's still alive. They went around and they usually break the legs so that they would suffocate from hanging there so long that they couldn't push themselves up. Because if you pull yourself this way, it'll tug on the nails in your hand to relieve the pressure so you can breathe. And if you pushed up with your feet, it would spread the hole in your feet so your hands would get some relief. Where did the relief come from? If you held your head down, you couldn't breathe. You were suffocating. You were on a cross in the sun. So if you held your head back, the crown of thorns kept piercing in your head. So where would you get some relief? Tell me where. He didn't need any because he loved you that much. He didn't need any relief. He said, I'm going to do it no matter what it takes because I love you that much.
Thank you, Lord Jesus. Thank you, Jesus.
From the 6th to the 9th hour, he was there. They didn't want anyone to have his garment. They said, don't tear it apart. It was one whole piece, a robe. They said, let's cast lots for it. Let's use some dice for it. See who's going to win. That's scripture. They cast lots for my raiment. Thank you, Bishop. They want to gamble. They want to have a party. They want to have fun. While your Lord and your Savior is hanging up there. They're having a party. They're gambling. Shooting crap, drinking wine. You know how the boys do when they're getting around. Why he's hanging on the cross. How humiliating. How humiliating. The sky darkened. The sun refused to shine.
That's right.
Because my Lord and my Savior was on this cross. The sun said, I will not shine. The sky darkened. Everyone didn't know what was going on. The wind started to pick up. There were minor earthquakes everywhere. They didn't know what was going on. Then one of the men finally came to his senses and said, truly, truly, this is the Son of God. So there was one man, Joseph, of Arimathea. He asked about, could I have the body of Jesus? And that's where we're going now. Could I have the body of Jesus? Sure, you can take him down. They took him down. Let me back up. I'm going to hear myself again. As the sun darkened in the sky, the sun refused to shine. Jesus hung his head. He said, it is finished. Is that what he said? Is that what the scripture said? It is finished. It is finished, Augustine. Everything that you went through in your life, everything that you're going to go through in your life, it is finished. I've already paid the price. Don't you let anyone tell you that you're not worthy of what I'm about to give you. Don't you let anybody tell you you're not worthy of the blessing that I'm going to bless you with, the healing I'm going to put in your life, the ministry that's inside of you, the songs you're going to sing, the cakes you're going to make. Don't let anyone tell you you're not worthy, because it is finished. The price has been paid. You can't sin enough. You can't do enough wrong to take this back. He's seen all of this already. it is finished. Joseph of Arimathea came and got the body of Jesus. They laid it in a borrowed tomb that was already hewn out, which no man had ever laid. They laid his body in there. They got the oil, the spices, and everything. They wrapped him up. And they closed the tomb. You know they closed it. They rolled a big stone in front of it. In those days, they didn't have graves and caskets like we have now. They hewed out a rock in the side of a mountain. And they just laid it out in there. And they covered it with spices and linen so it wouldn't smell. Then they would roll a stone in front of it. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
First day, Judy. That's day one. They went up there. They were sad. Everybody was sad. Jesus is dead. He's gone. What are we going to do now? You know what they forgot? They forgot his words. They forgot his words. They forgot what he told them. How many times has God spoken to you and told you something? And then something in your life will happen and you say, that's right. The Lord told me to. Or the Lord said, thus and so. The first day came. They went up there, moaning and groaning. Jesus was still in there. The second day came, y'all. They went over there. He was still. But the third day, early, one Sunday morning. Somebody said one Sunday morning. He did it for you and he did it for me. He went through all of that suffering, all of that pain. He did it for you and he did it for me. Early, that Sunday morning, something happened. Something happened in the atmosphere. The father said, I'm not going to let him stay there no more. Come on, son. It's time to come on home. The third day, early in the morning, Jesus. Somebody said Jesus. After all the suffering, all the heartache, all the headache, he got up with all power. Somebody said all power. All power in his hand. Death, where's your sting? Oh, grave, where's your victory? You have no power anymore. The veil was rent in two. We have access to the Father. You can start praying right now. You don't need a prophet. You don't need a priest. You can go straight to the throne room and get the word from God right now. He rose. He rose. He rose. He got up on the Thursday morning. He got up for you. He got up for me. He didn't stay there. But if you go and check Booker, there are bones in the tomb. He got up. 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 He's not dead. He is alive. He's alive and well. Sitting on the throne. Waiting on you to say yes to his will. And yes to his way. Yes to my Jesus. Each and every day. Come on, give the Lord a hand of praise tonight. Come on, give him a hand of praise. He got out. He got out. With all power in his hand. All power in his hand. If you're here this morning and you don't know Jesus Christ as your Lord and your Savior, I just gave you the story of how he died for you so that you can accept him as your Lord and your Savior. Don't worry about who's sitting next to you. Don't worry about who's going to look at you funny. But would you come this morning and give Jesus your heart? Give the preacher your hand, but give Jesus your heart. Will you stand with me? Everyone standing. Everyone standing. Everyone standing. If you're here this morning, give me a little something in the background. If you're here this morning and you said, Pastor, here, I heard that story and I believe it. And I want to make Jesus my Lord and my Savior. If you're here this morning, we're going to give you a minute. I know it's a little bit after 11, but this is important. This is why we come to church, so that people can get saved. Are you here this morning? Come and give the preacher your hand, but give God your heart. Come on. We're going to give you a minute. Because I know you're in here. Make that decision. Make that step. Take that step right now. Come on. He's tugging on your heartstrings. He said, don't worry about what people going to say. Come on. You know you love me. Show me that you love me. Show me that you love me. Confess me as your Lord and your Savior. Come on. Come on home. Come on home. I love you. I died for you. I took a beating for you. I went on the cross for you. And I also rose on the third day for you. Are you here? Come on. We got 2 more minutes. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. He's here. He's here. He wants you to come. He wants you to come. Come on.